Okay, hopefully you can all see my PowerPoint. If someone could let me know, that'd be great.
Yes, that's fine.
Brilliant, great. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to talk about really quite a low-tech thing, and apologies if I'm looking to the side because I'm using two screens here, so my PowerPoint's on the other screen. So I'm a math skills advisor at the University of Chester, so I'm part of the study skills team. And so the background to what I was trying to do once we moved online was basically it's math support. So a lot of what we do is responding ad hoc to questions in workshops. We run our own workshops and we also do some embedded teaching as well. So making up examples on the spot to explain something that students stuck on, drawing a diagram, being prepared for the range of topics that a student might want to discuss. And so responding very flexibly to individual needs is really key and more difficult, I would say, to achieve online. So I'm okay. So the technology I decided to use in the end was, first of all, a really old Wacom tablet that was originally supplied to me for doing Open University tutorials back in 2008 and is still going strong, actually. So this is kind of cheap, easy technology, but it works reliably. And also an XP pen that I purchased at the beginning of lockdown for £40. We had a bit of difficulty persuading the head of department that what we really needed was USB graphics tablets. So I just decided it was time to perhaps upgrade my tech and get a more modern version. And one of the things I quite like about this one is you can put it in any orientation, so you can make sure the wire on the USB cable is to the right, which is quite useful for a right-hander, and I think you can even use it with a phone. So it's a bit more flexible than my Wacom tablet. But both essentially operate as an additional input device, just like a keyboard or mouse. And so the first session I did actually online, when we moved online, was with a nursing student. And for that, I decided to try creating a PDF document that I could write on. As an Open University tutor, as well as working at Chester, I've done a lot of marking in PDF, so it's a technology I'm quite familiar with. And so I created a Word document with some calculation examples and blank pages. I saved it as a PDF. And in the session with the student on Teams, I was able to screen share the PDF and basically use the comment features of PDF to, so in this case, you can see I've highlighted different bits of the question for the student to kind of pick out the relevant points. And then I've written on the screen as we were talking through how to do the calculation. And you could also obviously use typing in a text box, but actually it's easier to do it handwritten usually and quicker than typing. So that worked really well and was really easy to do, but I wanted to try really another solution for things like workshops. So the second thing I did then was to think about writing on PowerPoint slides because I knew I could do that. I've done that before. So basically created a set of slides with space for writing on and was able to share the slideshow in full screen mode, which did require a second screen in Teams, which is one of the major disadvantages. It doesn't absolutely need a second screen, but if you want to look at the chat at the same time, it definitely needs a second screen so you can open the windows. Because for some reason, I don't think that the drawing tools on PowerPoint I couldn't get them to work in a window, only in full screen mode. And then you have these tools, which rather alarmingly are not coming up now because I was hoping to demo this, but I'm a bit green with Zoom. But you get the tools that I've shown under item 3, and you can then click on the pen tool and you can actually write on your slides. And PowerPoint then, when you exit out of a full screen mode, will ask you whether you want to keep your annotations or not, and you can save those onto your slides. And what I was able to do with this was obviously then to delete unused slides from the workshop before saving in an appropriate format. So this was, I was hoping to try this out, but I can't actually see the screen, the annotation tools in PowerPoint at the moment. So rather than fiddle around with it, you'll have to trust me that they are there. So this is from one of our Brushing Up Your Maths workshops, and obviously I could leave spaces and then we could talk through the examples, and I'd be writing out the lines of explanation as we went. So in summary, really, I mean, this is definitely a low-tech approach. The university has now supplied the maths team with iPads, which I'll be honest, I haven't actually used very much yet. So if anyone's got any expertise or good resources about using an iPad for this kind of purpose, I'd really love to hear them. Writing on the PDF files was really easy to screen share. It screen shares really easily in Teams so that you can see it all on one screen. You've got a range of annotations you can use, but it is less flexible for sort of adding, removing pages unless you have the pro versions of the software. I mean, for marking, I have used PDF Exchange Editor, which I think is about something like £30 for the paid version of it, which I think then allows you to insert and delete pages. Writing on PowerPoint, I found quite useful for creating sort of a bank of examples. So for the nursing examples now, I've got a PowerPoint that's got a load of nursing type examples. So I can take that into a session with a student and basically tailor that, you know, pick out the examples that are relevant to them, and then obviously delete those slides that we haven't used so that they just get a copy of the ones we've written on in the session for the save. And I've also used this approach to use PowerPoint Mix to make videos with handwritten examples on them. Done that quite a lot so that students can watch those, both as part of embedded teaching and also part of our own teaching. But you do need to use the slideshow in full screen mode, which is a bit of a disadvantage. And as I found out in Zoom, I can't actually find the tools to do it in that. So I need to explore a bit more, I think. But that's, for me, fairly low tech, but allowed me to be flexible and write on the screen. So I'll stop sharing.
Okay, thank you very much.